Hey, this is Chuck the Goat from Goat USA. I wanted to break into your podcast and tell you about the new Goat USA store at Garden State Plaza. Check us out next to Seasons 52 across from Fogo de Chao. Be the goat by wearing the goat and gift your loved ones with the greatest apparel of all time. Heavenly soft and incredibly durable, Goat USA sweatshirts and joggers are the most outstanding gifts this holiday season. So come see us at Garden State Plaza. And if you don't know, you soon will. Goat USA. Apparel for kids and adults. Chuck out.
Something is happening here. Off the New Jersey coast, a new offshore wind project is generating nearly $2 billion in economic benefits for the state. We're generating thousands of local jobs, but the most important thing we're generating is trust. Look closer at Atlantic Shore's offshore wind, and you'll see that we're generating a clean energy future with a team that values safety, the environment, science, and a commitment to being a good neighbor. Learn more at AtlanticShoresWind.com.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Thursday, on which Liverpool will take on LASK at Anfield in the Europa League. A win will guarantee us that we're through and hopefully in top spot. And we should be confident of the win because we're clearly a very good team. This is Anfield have put together 10 key things to know ahead of tonight's game. First thing first, Alisson Becker likely out for about 2 weeks. He'll miss the next 3 league games, as well as the next 2 Europa League games, but he likely wouldn't have played in them anyway. A chance to qualify for the last 16 if. So if we win, we're definitely through. And if Toulouse fail to beat Union Saint-Gilloise tonight and we win, we are guaranteed top spot, which puts us in the last 16 of the Europa League. So here's hoping Union can get at least a point in that game so that we don't need to worry about the final game against Union, that we can just go into it and send the kids and lose if need be, but rest everybody ahead of Manchester United and Arsenal. Diogo Jota obviously facing a bit of a longer spell on the sidelines than Ali, so he joins Robbo, Thiago and Stefan Bajcetic on the kind of long-term injured list. LASK are not coming as tourists, according to their manager. We don't want to go there as tourists. It's just a football game that you always have some chance of winning. We want to demand everything from them there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Rude Anfield awakening. LASK may be intent on asking questions of the Reds, but that they will be naive not to respect Liverpool's current record at home. The Reds have scored in each of their last 19 Anfield outings since a 0-0 draw with the Premier League with Chelsea back in January. Moreover, Liverpool have won all 9 home games this season across all competitions, scoring 27 and conceding only 4. Fortress Anfield is back. Jurgen Klopp wants everyone to really go for it. Jurgen said, "We are in the beginning of the most intense period of the whole season. That's how it is. We play now Thursday, Sunday, then Wednesday, Saturday, and it's super tough. We have to make sure that this is a European night. That's what I expect us to do. A proper European night at Anfield. Really go for it. I will line up a team. I don't hear anything yet on who cannot start from all the others besides the injury players that has fresh legs, and we'll go for it." who wants to enjoy the game and will really fight for a result. So he's going to go pretty strong, which, fair enough. Ben Doak's dreams are coming through. So obviously he's started in this competition already. He's made 2 appearances and he will likely play tonight, potentially from the start. And he is obviously on cloud 9 with how everything is going. Don't be surprised by more rotation. There is a predicted 11 here of Kelleher, Gomez, Konate, Quansah, Chambers. That's similar enough to what myself and Carl suggested. Endo, Elliott, Gravenberch. The only change I would have there is I would start Jones over Elliott in midfield, but I would start Elliott over Doak in attack, Gakpo, Diaz. A new ref for the Reds, Urs Schneider from Switzerland. He's never overseen a game for Liverpool or LASK, so we'll see how he does. And This Is Anfield will have their match day live blog up and running from 7:15 with Adam Beattie keeping you company through the game if you don't fancy being bored by a bunch of mediocre commentators. Confirmed 25-man Liverpool squad training for LASK, including Cade Gordon, which is an interesting one. Great to see him back. Obviously, an incredibly talented young player. And fingers crossed, he can get himself back on track after the injuries that he's had. And I think if he does, I think he might be the most talented young player at the club. I spoke yesterday about how excited I am for Bobby Clark and what I think he can become. I think Cade, some of the performances he was putting in before he got hurt, he looks a very special player. The squad that's training: goalkeepers Kelleher, Adrian, Pitaluga and Mrozek. Defenders: Van Dijk, Matip, Konate, Gomez, Quansah, Trent, Costas, Connor Bradley and Luke Chambers. No Callum Scanlon, notably. I don't know if he's injured. Maybe he is. Midfielders: Szoboszlai, McAllister, Jones, Gravenberch, Elliott and Endo. And in attack, Salah, Nunez, Diaz, Gakpo, Doak and Ben Gordon. So pretty strong, even with the few injuries, pretty strong. There is a piece here about why Diogo Jota's return from injury in January will be key, because obviously Mo is going to AFCON. Manchester City verdict for 115 charges could take until 2025 at the earliest. So their case is going to be heard, it appears, after this season. And then it's going to take a long time for that case to be heard and for a decision to be made. If them winning the title this season won't actually be impacted one way or another, because the only titles that would be affected by this are the ones won prior to the investigation starting in 2018. There will, of course, after all of this is said and done, there will need to be a second investigation into Manchester City from 2018 onwards, because the cheating didn't stop. They could only investigate retrospectively and not monitor them as they were going. So, yeah, while City might think we get through this, that's going to be the end of it, I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. There will have to be a second investigation from 2018 up until whatever point they're finally, either found guilty or not guilty on this investigation. And I think, given what we've seen with Everton, the fact that the Premier League charged them at all suggests that the Premier League are confident that their case is pretty bulletproof. Thiago transfer in January, unlikely, as injury layoff hits 7 months. I really don't know why we wouldn't look to move him on. This piece is written by Joanna Durkin. It's Jimbo saying that a January move is unlikely. So, you wouldn't pay much attention to what Jimbo has to say. Ex-Reds impressive clean sheet pushes Manchester United to the brink of Champions League exit. Bayern drew 0-0 with Copenhagen last night, and Camille Grabara played very, very well for Copenhagen. What else do we have here on This Is Anfield? Not a whole lot. There's plenty of stuff ahead of the game. Liverpool in talks with council to improve Anfield transport links. Something that's long overdue and will be very, very welcome, I'd imagine. Liverpool transfer news as 20 million teen on radar as Jurgen Klopp looks closely at young keeper. Okay. For some reason, there's a piece about Lionel Messi. There's a piece about Ryan Gravenberch dribbling past Rodri. Moises Caicedo agent awarded after Liverpool transfer saga as Newcastle wants Chelsea flop. So first things first, it's not Moises Caicedo's agent. The gentleman who is being given the Golden Agent Award, which is just a made-up load of nonsense, is not his agent. He was an intermediary in that deal, working on behalf of Chelsea to get that deal done by any means necessary. Ali Barat is not his agent. Manuel Sierra is his agent. Barat is an intermediary. Newcastle want Chelsea flop. Oh, Romelu Lukaku. Okay, fair enough. Liverpool transfer news as 20 million teen on radar. So the goalkeeper that apparently Jurgen is looking closely at is Charlie Setford of Ajax, 19 years of age. And Chelsea are interested in his brother. And then the teenager that we're allegedly interested in is Bilal El Khanas, who really is an immensely gifted young player. Plays for Genk in Belgium. Now, he doesn't really fill any kind of need for us. So I have doubts that we will look at him. But he is a fantastically talented young player. So it's not a surprise that we'll be linked, especially at this time of the year when agents are starting to put names out there. Jurgen Klopp has incredible Fabinho heir at Liverpool who is making Czech Doucouré irrelevant. What? I think this is just absolute nonsense, to be honest. Complete and utter nonsense, but not overly surprising. Mohamed Salah has no decision to make. We read that yesterday. The crowds in Saudi are just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic that the crowds that are turning up to those games. Nobody is there. It's great. Had a question from Andy Wales. If you could pick one Liverpool game from the pre-Klopp years to have Klopp as manager for, what game would you pick? And I came down to two, to be honest. One, because it would have meant we won something, and one, because it would have meant something horrendous didn't happen. So the game for us to win, I think the Champions League final in 2007. I think we were a better team than Milan going into that. And Rafa's overly cautious approach cost us that final. That's been my contention for years, that we were too negative in that game. And it was a game that was right there for us to go and take and win. The decision to start Dirk Kuyt up front when he probably should have started him wide and played Peter Crouch through the middle, or Bellamy through the middle. Zenden and Pennant on the wings. Pennant, to be fair, played quite well on the day. Zenden was dreadful. and he was replaced before the hour mark by Harry Kewell. I feel like that game was there for us to win. And I think a manager like Klopp, who's a lot more aggressive and wants to go out and grab things, I think he would have won us that game. We had a better team than them. Like, Reina was better than Dida. Finnan was better than Odo. Risa and Jankulowski's about a push. That Daniel Agger versus that Paolo Maldini is about a push. Maldini was well past his best at that point. And despite foolish people pretending otherwise, he was a very good centre-back. He was never a great centre-back. He was never because of where he was in his career. Had he played there earlier, and when he did play there earlier, he was great back in like the early to mid-90s. By 2007, he was on his last legs. And that version of Daniel Agger I would put on about a par. Nesta, obviously better than Carragher. No shame there. I'm taking Mascherano over Gattuso. I'm taking Alonso over Pirlo. And you'll excuse me, I'll be taking Steven Gerrard over Massimo Ambrosini. Now, in attack, they did have Seedorf, Kaká, and Filippo Inzaghi, which is better than Jermaine Pennant, Bolo Zenden, and Dirk Kuyt. But I think we had a better defence and a better midfield. And I think we had players in Crouch and Bellamy that they would have struggled to deal with. It's always annoyed me that and they weren't even good that season. We should have won that game. Like, first half, they had 58% of the ball. We just let them have the ball. Second half, we had 53%, and we were comfortably the better team. If we'd gone out in the front foot and played what we were capable of playing, we would have won that game. So that's one. The other one, I will take you back to the 24th of January, 1999. Liverpool go to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United in the fourth round of the FA Cup. We go 1-0 up. We remain 1-0 up. Dwight Yorke scores in the 88th minute. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scores in the 90th minute. I just think a Klopp team is stronger mentally in those last phases. And I think we win that game. And the reason I would want us to win that game is because it's the one game we can win that affects their treble. So I would go for that one. Because that treble, if you lived through that treble, was an absolutely horrendous season to be a Liverpool fan. Now, you could look at the league games we played against them that year for sure. They beat us 2-0 at Old Trafford. Not sure Klopp could have made much difference in that one. But perhaps the 2-2 draw at Anfield in the fourth last game of the season, perhaps we win that one if Jurgen's in charge. Now, we did come back from behind, a late Paul Ince goal. But I'll take that FA Cup one because it means they definitely don't win that FA Cup. They might still have won the league even if we'd beaten them, because they did draw again after us with Blackburn, and if they needed to win that, maybe they win that and whatever. So yeah, I'm taking that FA Cup game and taking away their treble. Gang of bastards. Right, on to AnfieldIndex.com, where we have plenty of content going on. FSG's financial strategy under scrutiny by fans. I'm sure there's some questionable takes being made as always. Klopp praises Tsimikas' stellar form. Stellar, really. One game. Salah's departure could usher in the Mbappe era. It won't. Report Liverpool's bold bid for midfield dynamo. João Neves is a sensationally talented young midfielder, but he's not what we need. There's a piece about Thiago. Podcast-wise, we had a very, very busy night. So there is the post press conference. Post press conference podcast with Dave Davis following yesterday's press conference. There is Mulby on the spot, which is, as always, just outstanding with Trev and Jan. Trev and Dave Davis have done a transfer show. And then there is the transfer committee podcast for the January window. Gags Tandon, myself, Dan Kennett, and Mo Chatra. With a £100 million budget, we decided that we have 3 positions to address. In the end, we settled on 4 players for our budget. None of them are world beaters. One of them could be if he develops. The other 3, though, are, I think, the type of smart move we need to make to galvanize this team. So a quality backup right back, a starting caliber left back / left side centre back, and a starting caliber holding midfielder. And then we went for a prospect as well. It was fun. I think it's good. So do give that one a listen when you have a chance. And that's it. I will speak to you all tomorrow. I will be on Raw tonight. Myself, Trev, and Carl Matchett on Raw. We have just recorded the Scouted ahead of Fulham. It'll come out maybe later today or tomorrow, but it will be out. Rival Recon is on the way, and there's a few others coming as well. So keep an eye on those. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Honey, where'd you go in your pajamas?
Sleepwalking.
Again? How far?
My watch says 25 miles.
25? Did you know we can save up to 25% off grocery store prices at BJ's Wholesale Club?
We can save a ton for our holiday party.
You already did.
Huh?
There's deli platters, candy, and baking ingredients on the table.
I bought that?
Yeah, you've been sleep shopping.
So it's true. Saving at BJ's is so easy, you can do it in your sleep.
Save in-club or on BJ's.com. Not a member? Join today. BJ's. Absurdly simple savings.